In the video I posted yesterday, I said I'd be taking a break from talking about gender ideology, in particular what I refer to as the TQ cult, the hardline members of the trans, queer and non-binary communities, the fucking nut jobs. But I checked the comments this morning and it transpires that a number of people want me to continue talking about that topic. So I guess now I'm performing on demand like a 20-year-old Colombian girl with a webcam. And it strikes me that social media, X and TikTok in particular, are now like the modern equivalent of a Victorian freak show. Let's commence. We'll begin with a clip from a chap I've featured on this channel before. He is the Uber Karen of the trans community. What this guy does is he poses as a food blogger so he can set up his camera and his ring light, and then waits for one of the waiting staff to misgender him. And when I say misgendering, for the TQ cult, misgendering means correctly gendering. If I put on a wig, some makeup and a dress, I'm still a man. That's my gender. So once he's been misgendered, he'll then call the manager over to try and get the member of staff, who are usually on minimum wage and often English isn't their first language, to get that member of staff berated and or fired. The guy is a fucking bully. But today, he's handing out advice.
Is bring an air horn around. I know it sounds extreme, but like honestly, it would work. Bring an air horn, and anytime they misgender you or call you the wrong name, they don't want to hear that air horn any more than you do. I know, extreme, sure, extreme but effective. And I bet that if that, you might have to honk it 3 times tops before they learn their lesson. But first, just tell them that it means a lot to you, and that it would mean a lot to you if they really tried a lot harder, or tried harder. All right.
I'm not sure that's particularly good advice, because many people, upon having an air horn blown into their face, would respond in an extremely physical manner, and he won't feel quite as smug when he's on the ground picking his teeth up. Now, because of the arsehole I am, if he blew an air horn at me, I'd just double down on it. Sir? Sir? Excuse me, sir? Please stop blowing that air horn. That's not very gentlemanly conduct, is it? Not what I'd expect from a man like you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Take care, Chief. Thanks, mate. Now, to be fair to him, at least he's one of the committed ones. He's booked in to have his meat and 2 veg lopped off. The thing is, though, that even after that's done, he's still not going to pass. Because underneath that ridiculous curly wig, he's balder than I am. Next up, we've got another trans woman, I guess, complaining about deadnaming. If you're not familiar with the term, to deadname a trans person is to use the name that their parents, their extremely disappointed parents, gave them as a child before they transitioned. Now, I've had to mute this due to copyright, but bear in mind, this individual recorded this video, edited it, and then posted it thinking it paints them in a good light. So he can live with being dead named at work because he's saving up for a boob job. Remember, it's not a fetish. The thing is though, there's nothing feminine about him. His build's wrong, he's got the male jawline. Basically, he's going to be a bloke with a massive set of knockers, like a pantomime dame. Next up we have a non-binary woman talking about her breasts. Flawless fucking segue.
Not non-binary as in yeet the teat. Non-binary as in would sometimes like remove and set aside, and sometimes would like put back.
She's non-binary, so sometimes she has her fun bags on display and other times she covers them up. Essentially saying she wears different styles of clothes. Like everyone does, but of course the TQ cult always think they're so bloody special. I've got my own equivalent. I've got tattoos down both of my arms. Now, depending on the social situation, or, if I'm honest, the weather, I may have them exposed or covered up. Does that mean I have to join the club now? Do I need to get a flag commissioned? But should I be talking about this at all?
Why do cis people talk? Like, why do they have the ability to, like, flap their gums and, like, move their fucking poo-poo mouths? It's fucking weird. Honestly, it should be illegal.
I think a lot of us are asking the same question right now. What the hell was that thing? I think there, it's the classic case of a man who's looked in the mirror, realised that he's fuck ugly, and also that he has no personality or friends, and decided that must mean he's a different gender. Why should cis people, I hate that term, cis people be able to speak? Why should 99% of the population be able to speak? To rip the piss out of people like him, to stop that shit getting normalised, because not that long ago, someone like that would have been sectioned and had their head plugged into the national grid. And once again we see someone here, a trans person, a hardline member of the TQ cult, acting the victim whilst being utterly fucking vile. Finally, a real treat for any straight men or lesbians watching. That's a total lie. There are some things you cannot unsee, so I'm only going to play around 30 seconds of this clip. Now, the majority of trans women don't have dysphoria. They're not transsexual. They are autogynephiles. What used to be called transvestites. It's a kink, it's a fetish, and it's gone on for years, but it used to be played out behind closed doors. But since the TQ cult hijacked the gay rights movement, they're all out and proud shoving it in people's faces. Again, bear in mind, this individual has recorded this, edited it, and then put it on the internet. So many questions. Does he think that's the way that women wash cars? The only ladies who've washed cars like that were in Motley Crue videos in the 1980s. And if that were my car, even if it were a real woman washing it, I'd be asking, why are you cleaning the tyres before you finish the bodywork? And would you mind getting off the wing before you fucking dent it? And the car? It's a RAV4, so I'm guessing it's his. And there's nothing wrong with RAV4s, they're great little motors. But if you're going to record what I'm guessing was meant to be an erotic car washing video, would you go for a Porsche, a Ferrari, or the smallest four-wheel drive that Toyota currently offer? But we know that once he puts on the swimsuit and the blonde wig, he'll look in the mirror and he'll see Pamela Anderson from Baywatch. As ever, thanks for watching. I'm going to be fuck that up. Best way that we can look at it is, got a dog walker coming. I'd best stop shouting loudly about transvestites. Binary, she wears different clothes. Got water in my sock. Is it any wonder that we've... balls that up. Now I am being like a girl on a webcam.